And we back. This week I am your host Dan, and let's kick it. We are going to be speed running the review and the preview this week. No edits, all the uncut, raw footage, just the way I know you guys like it. We're going to get this video out, and it's going to be great. Let's go. Game number one, the only Friday game from this past week. Bournemouth beats Fulham 3-1. I would say that's a pretty expected outcome. Bournemouth is pretty good this year. On to Saturday. First game for Saturday. Leeds versus Tottenham. Tottenham sneaks out a win against Leeds. That is not a very good sign for Tottenham because they are not that good. Leeds is not that good. Second game of the day. Arsenal versus West Ham. Arsenal cruises to a 2-0 win. That was very expected. Some people probably even thought it was going to be a greater victory. Third game of the day, Manchester United versus Sunderland. Manchester United wins 2-0 versus Sunderland. Someone tell me the last time that Manchester United won a game 2-0. Gotta be like 3 or 4 years. In the Premier League, not including cups. Sunderland has been doing very good, but this is a much needed result for Manchester United. And the last game of Saturday, prime time. The best team in the world faces a great Premier League side. Chelsea is the best team in the world, of course. Chelsea comes out on top 2-1 with an amazing performance. They really needed that victory. That is a huge morale booster and huge for the table. Chelsea proves that they can beat anybody. First game for Sunday. Aston Villa versus Burnley. They sneak out a 2-1 victory against one of the worst teams of all time, but a win's a win. Second game of the day, Everton versus Crystal Palace. Yeah, we updated our bio. Yeah, get the jokes out, get the jokes out. Everton wins 2-1 to finally end Crystal Palace's unbeaten Premier League streak. What a run they had. Third game, Newcastle United versus Nottingham Forest. Newcastle wins 2-0. I would say that's a very expected result as well. And finally, Wolverhampton Wanderers get a draw against Brighton and Hove Albion. They get their first point of the season. What a time we're living in when Wolverhampton will not finish the year with 0 points. Last game of the Sunday, last game of the entire week. Brentford versus Man City. Man City sneaks past Brentford with a 1-0 victory. Let's move on to the preview. This week's preview, they saved the best game for first, as the Nottingham will face Chelsea, the best team in the league. I'm gonna have to guess this one might be 13-0 Chelsea winning, of course. Second game of Saturday, Brighton and Hove Albion versus Newcastle United. Now, I don't think Brighton, they're an alright side, but nothing too special, and Newcastle's been on a solid run recently, so I'll give Newcastle the victory here. This might be the best toilet bowl of the past 5, maybe even 10 years. Burnley versus Leeds. If they could both lose, I would choose that, but instead, I'll pick a draw. Crystal Palace versus Bournemouth. Yes, Crystal Palace unbeaten streak ends. They updated their bio, by the way. And I do not think that will discourage them, though. I think they will still come out strong in this game. I think Crystal Palace will win. Man City versus Everton. Um, this one could be. I don't think Man City is as good as I thought they were going to be this year, so this one might actually be a toss-up game. So just for that, I'll give it a draw. Sunderland versus Wolves. I will never, until the Wolves get a victory, I will never ever pick the Wolves. So give me Sunderland. Fulham versus Arsenal for the last game on Saturday. Now, I do think this is a little bit of a sneaky matchup here for Fulham. I think they might be able to pull it out, although Arsenal is obviously the favorite. So I'll pick this game to be a draw. Tottenham versus Aston Villa. First game on Sunday. Both these teams are just all right. Tottenham has definitely had more of a roller coaster season, higher highs, but man, they come crashing down right after. I'll guess they'll even out after this game, and I'll give them a draw. Liverpool versus Manchester United. Liverpool coming off a loss to Chelsea. They finally showed weakness. They finally showed they are beatable. I will pick the underdogs in this matchup. Manchester United will beat Liverpool. And finally, our last game of the previews, our only Monday game, West Ham United versus Brentford. I don't know anybody that cares about this game, but it's in the prime time slot on Monday. I'll take Brentford though. And I hope you guys liked that speed run of this week's preview and review. We're getting this video out quick. I'm hoping to be back to better things in the future, but this one just had to get out there. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment if I got everything right. If I got anything wrong, don't leave a comment, and peace.